Welcome back everyone. I am Tarek, aka BeardMyth, your virtual boxing coach. On this channel, we are all about providing a space to learn everything boxing, starting you from square one. Today, we're going to be critiquing a spar of a shorter versus a taller fighter and how to get inside as that shorter fighter. Let's hop right into it. Alright, so as the shorter fighter, I want to maintain that center ring dominance and keep my opponent up against the ropes as much as I can. Start off doing that really well, working on the inside, but right here I make a mistake. I shift too far outside and leaving my opponent an opportunity to escape the ropes. Immediately, I want to come back and get that center ring dominance. Again, pressuring with my jab and my footwork, keeping my opponent up against the ropes, looking for an opportunity to move inside. Right here, something as I like to do is I like to set up my body shot by baiting out my jab and just checking my opponent's guard. Again, keeping my pressure. Head movement is key when trying to move forward. Looking for those opportunities to counter. Again, keeping as much pressure as I can. This will prevent me from expending a lot of energy. Pumping my jab, looking for an opportunity to move in. Right here, I see my opponent shuffling to my left. So what I really should be doing is checking that with a punch. Right there, again, I make a mistake. My opponent was able to get out from the ropes because I opened up to the wrong side. You can see here, my opponent is fairly flat-footed and moving to the right. I should be capitalizing on that movement and trying to come inside and possibly landing a right hook. And right here, I let my opponent out again because of the angle I'm taking. When my opponent jabs that high up, I really should be looking to slip that and come inside off of it. Fairly easy to do from that position. Again, my opponent's throwing very lazy jabs. I should be trying to counter off of that with a slip and then a punch, which I try to do right there. And what I really need to be doing is, because this is the first round, I need to be probing my opponent and seeing what their habits are and their tendencies are so I can try to counter them in the second round. Because if I can do that, that will give me a huge advantage. Alright, so now we're on to the second round. Again, I still want to assert that pressure immediately. Keeping my head movement and pressuring with my punches. Again, see, he is already up against the ropes. Keeping my head moving, and I countered right there off of his jabs. Lazy jabs makes it much easier to counter. So here now, I kind of want to try and work to the right side because he's dropping his lead jab a lot. So I can get my overhand rights through a lot cleaner. Right here, I'm matching my opponent's movement to make sure I'm cutting that ring off so they can't escape the ropes. Trying to keep as much pressure as I can. Right there, I make a mistake though and quarter out and let him out. Something I really need to be taking advantage here is right here when my opponent switches stance. I need to be moving in on that. That's something to counter off of. So as you can see, one of my biggest issues is letting my opponents out of the ropes for free. Right there, I do it again. For no reason. I had him up against the ropes. I could have worked inside. I just didn't. It's something that I also need to work on a little bit. Again, I coming in, pressuring, working the body, trying to tire him out as much as possible. Right here, I actually used a little bit more of a push from my hook to drive my opponent into the corner, and he does a great job of clinching up afterwards to prevent me from staying inside when he's up against the ropes. But again, I come right back with that same pressure, asserting that center ring dominance, really gaining me a lot of points in a fight, which could lead to a sway in the judge's decision. So a big thing with going up against a taller opponent as well is making sure that you are changing levels. You can see I go to the body, I go to the head, keeping my opponent guessing so that I can move in. This is how I box a taller opponent as a shorter fighter. This is what I typically do in order to make sure that I am dominating the ring and making sure that I can get inside and land hits. Thanks for watching everyone. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and uppercut that notification bell to stay up to date. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video format and if you'd be interested in having us break down your spar. Also, I live stream on Twitch if you ever want to ask me questions, and a link for that will be down in the description. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the ring.